Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. This your girl, Mary Jane. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my people. So let's talk about Shameless Season 8, Episode 1. We become what we Frank. Oh no, you guys better not become Frank. But even though some of you guys have picked up his characteristics as Frank's children, but we'll see what happens this season. So far, I like the first episode. It seems like there's going to be a lot to go on and things to develop, and hopefully we'll have a smooth season. So Shameless. OMG. So Fiona is on Tinder, and basically Fiona was going around last season and just having sex with any guy and every guy because she didn't want to have any type of emotional connection. She just couldn't feel to be loved or be in a relationship with anybody because, her lifestyle, what she looked at as her mother, Monica and Frank, and then all the bad relationships. So she just, was on Tinder. But she had a moment and she woke up and she was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And the guy's laying in bed and he's ready to get it on. He got the condom on, and Fiona changes her mind in the midst of it, saying, I ain't doing it no more. In real life, you might not get off that easy if you show up to a stranger's house and then you try not to have sex with him. He might try to take advantage of you or do something. So this is TV. So Fiona, she leaves and she's out and she doesn't do it, and she feels happy. She feels proud, and things are going well in Fiona's life. It's really going well. She has her job, she has a car, and she owns an apartment building, and basically she's about to make some money off that apartment building, and she's fixing it up and she's meeting new people. So Fiona's doing good. She's doing good. And Carl, he's waking up everybody in the house because he's still on military time, because he's back from military camp, and he's waking up his brothers and everything. And it's the most loud, annoying alarm ever. But he wants to stay on military time because he has some discipline. And that's one thing about Carl. He does have discipline. And so as, Lip, he wakes up, he goes downstairs because, he's still, he just got out of rehab and he hasn't been drinking, and he's trying to stay on a straight and narrow. So he goes outside to smoke a cigarette on the porch. He sees Fiona walking up. He was like, oh, so you just getting home? You was out all night? She was like, you know what? I have a whole new change. I'm changing over a whole new leaf. You know what? I just want a real relationship. I'm just not going to be having meaningless sex with anybody, and just, I'm deleting my Tinder account, and I'm not just going to be using guys for their abs. And it was like so good for, Lip and Fiona to actually talk to each other about, intimate personal details. It's just like they have a really good relationship at this time of point, because at one point they didn't have a good relationship. And, Lip was like, that sounds good, because Lip can't be in a judgment department because he did some shady shit last season. So he was like, I'm about to run to work, because he's fiending for a drink. And so he runs to work, and Fiona, she watches him run to work. I'm just like, whoa, Lip. I hope Lip really does stay clean, because I thought Lip was going to be their way out the hood, their ticket out the hood. But it seems like they're all going to have to make their own ticket out the ghetto, out the hood. And they might actually get there. But we'll see. And, Carl, he's cooking breakfast. He's cooking eggs, grits, biscuits, all types of stuff. I mean, a real breakfast. And he's spewing all the military lingo that he has learned, but he's also still selling meth for his family, because Monica left each of the kids a bag of meth. Fiona, she put her bag of meth in Monica's casket, and so but Carl is selling the meth for his brothers and his sisters, his sister Deb or whatever, and Iron. It's just like crazy. So it's just like Carl still has some of his street ways. And so, Fiona's like, so why you like all this stuff you're spreading about the American flag, this and that, and all this other stuff? Why are you selling drugs? He was like, because the number rule of to be an American is to have entrepreneurship, to make your own money, to start your own business. And so, he's selling the drugs. He's doing his thing. And, he's buying a jacuzzi. He has brought a espresso maker. And it seems like Carl, he always buys nice stuff for the house. He even saved the house with his drug money last season. Like, he actually, think about the family and putting things together for them to have nice things, because he wants nice things. And so we also see Liam is sitting there. Liam is still going to that private school, the best private school like in the town of Chicago, where they live at. He's still going to the private school, whatever. But there's a glitch at that private school. What is it? They are using Liam as a poster child of diversity to get parents to donate money, to get businesses to donate money, and get parents to have their children go to that school. So every time Liam goes to class, he's abruptly erupted. They don't care about his grades. They're just using him as a poster child because, I guess because he has free tuition because they gave him a scholarship. So they actually doing Liam harm, and no one knows about it this season, but he does tell Fiona that, he has recess all the time, and she couldn't get it. Like, why does he have recess? Because, most of the Gallaghers do have common sense, and they have book smarts. Like, they're easy to catch on to things and learn stuff because Frank was a genius at once, and Lip, he was considered a genius and got scholarship. And Iron, he was able to learn how to be an EMT just that quick. And now you have Debbie going to school to be a welder, and she's learning really fast and really quick. And Fiona is good with business, good with scheduling. She got her own apartment complex, and she's managing the diner. So so we can't say that the genes skip Liam, but Liam is having a disservice at this private school, and he's basically facing racism. In so many different words. He's the poster child for let's get money into our school program that we have diversity ship. So it's crazy. So Deb, it's funny how Deb is working as a parking attendant, and it's crazy that Deb, brings her baby to work. It's not crazy, but how she keeps her baby inside of a dog cage. I'm surprised no one reported on her or said anything about it, but she has to do what she has to do to take care of her child and her family, and she's showing that she is maturing as an adult, but she's still lacking some of the things that she needs. And basically she probably doesn't have the money to afford daycare, so that's why she has her daughter at work with her and a dog cage. I'm like, whoa, I'm surprised the boss, the owners, no one said anything about that situation. But is that going to lead us to her having another DCYF investigation or child service investigation with her again? And we see that her baby's father is nowhere around. And and Deb, she's juggling being a mom, a girlfriend, and going to school and working at the same damn time, and actually becoming an adult and actually being around adults and realizing that there's some people that are suffering through different things that she had no knowledge about, because people, when she was growing up, there was nobody around her to show her like, oh, we go to work, jobs get resourced out, people lose their jobs, they get laid off and all this other stuff, and she's learning that type of stuff, and she's actually adapting well to be an adult, but she has some kinks and some mistakes going on. But how can you blame her? Look who raised her, Frank and Monica and Fiona was a child at the time, a teenager. So we got Lip, he's working at car mechanic shop with his sponsor, and basically he's really trying to stay clean. He likes the girl that works at the car shop, but she ain't paying him no attention and no mind. And we get to Fiona and V. We see that they made up and they're friends and they're back together. But basically, I was surprised to see V working at the diner. She's working at the diner with Fiona. So it seems like Fiona's going around giving her whole family and all her friends jobs. Go Fiona. And so they're talking, and V is upset because she hasn't seen Kevin. She hasn't been her and Kevin work different jobs, different hours. They're not having sex. They're not doing the things that they used to do. And basically, she's mad at Spilona, I can't say her name right. Mad at Spitlana because she has stole their bar from them. But it just seems like, if she didn't take it, the government was going to take it. If the government would have took it, they would have never got it back. But it seems like Spitlana, she should have worked with them or something and tell them, hey, this is what you need to do. Make me partner, make me something, not just take the bar from under them. It's just like crazy. So, Fiona, she's talking about, her new apartment and actually not being on Tinder anymore and having meaningless sex with anybody anymore. And there's a customer that's looking, and he's like, oh my God, this girl is really trashy whore. And so she's talking about, she's like, I didn't use Tinder every day. Well, she did. And so Fiona's turning over a new leaf. She's actually maturing and becoming an adult. And, Fiona goes to her new apartment complex that she owns, and she meets one of the tenants, and her name is Nessa, and Nessa is, she's a lesbian, but it seems like her and Fiona has some type of connection going on or whatever. But it seems kind of weird because Nessa says to Fiona that, hey, listen, I like blonde bitchy women, and also I like, I'm a masochist, but not a physical pain masochist, but a masochist that likes to emotional and turmoil and distress. So she's like one of the people that seek out turmoil, distress, destruction, havoc. She likes negativity. She likes dramas. Like, oh my God, how can there are really people out here like this. So it's good to show that these people seem normal, but they just love chaos. They love turmoil. And so Fiona was like, okay, or whatever. And so then, Nessa tells her about all the tenants. It seems like Fiona got tenants, they're paying rent, but they're kind of like behind. And it also shows you that Nessa, she doesn't have to live in that apartment complex, but she does because because they're changing the neighborhood, getting out the old and in with the new. And so we go to Iron. He is trying to get his ex-boyfriend back that works at the youth center, but his ex-boyfriend is really a girl. So it's like crazy that, Iron's gay, but he's in love with this boy that's actually a girl that had, the trans, do-over or whatever, transgender over. So it's just like crazy, like, yo, these young kids be going through some things, like they really be like facing a lot of different things and a lot of different emotional and physical issues that that they grow up with. So anyways, so Iron's trying to get back with her or with him or whatever, and he's not feeling it because, Iron bounced on him and left and went with his old boyfriend, Mickey, and took off and went loco crazy. But now he's back on his meds. He's back to normal, and he realized how much he loves this the guy that works at the youth center. But right now the guy at the youth center ain't feeling it. So Iron, he goes there, gives free medical help, like take care of their cuts, their bruises, give them bandage, condoms and stuff like that. At the same time, trying to get back with his old boyfriend. But his old boyfriend's going on a date, and Iron's trying to join, and his boyfriend's like, it's some drinks and a movie, basically with Netflixing and chilling. So get the hell out of here, Iron. So basically, Deb, she's at work, and one of the parking people trying to give her a hard time, and he threatens to beat up Deb, and Deb was like, yeah, I want you to get out your truck, and I'll tase you, and I would super glue your eyelids shut and then call the cops. You go, Debbie. The whole time her baby daughter's sitting in a dog cage. Oh God. And so basically Veronica, V and Fiona, they're talking and they're at at the diner, and then Kev walks in, and Kev is telling V and Fiona that, hey, Spilana, she changed the whole bar around, she changed the name, it's all Russian, they making money, I can't believe she's doing this. And he's upset, and they're both mad, and V just keep talking about how she wants to kill Spitlana wants to kill her and just destroy her and take her out of here, basically. And then we find out that Kev is working at the gay bar that Iron used to work at. Damn, damn. And so, like, what does this mean? Does this mean that is Kev bisexual or Kev trisexual, or he'll do anything for money? He's any sexual doing what for money. But V's cool with it. V was like, yo, as long as you don't let them give you a BJ and all this and no sex or whatever. So basically, freaking Kev is over here prostituting himself out at the gay bar. He got on these tight golden pants. He's let guys rub his chest, smell his penis, touch his penis, blow on his penis. So to me, I think, he's not too far from bending over or bending a man over, in my opinion. So I think Kev, is a trisexual, and he wants to try him some men. And, he really wants to do it because he gets more money. And I guess they're really in the crunch for money that he's willing to have sex with men. That's what it is. Or willing to let him give him a blowjob. So it's like crazy. I was like, wow. And so we see that Lim is being mistreated at school, basically. And then we have Frank. Frank shows up. He done smoked all his meth, gave half of it away. And he's making apologies and amends to all his, trying to make apologies and amends to all his kids. But he hasn't even done his kids yet. He's put his kids on the back burner. And he goes to find all these other people to make apologies to, except his kids first. He tried to apologize to Carl. Carl really is here or there with, his father. So, oh God. So Frank, he was telling Carl that, he smoked half a pound of meth and gave the rest away or whatever. And, so Frank is going around the neighborhood trying to find people from the 80s, the 70s, and the 2000s to apologize to that he did wrong, that he made his amends, because basically it seems like Frank was at a Buddhist camp and, he has a new religion like usual, but his kids are still not first priority, where he amends with them first, his kids first, his flesh and blood, but the people out in the streets. So he's still self-centered, still self-serve in his ways. And so one of the funny things about when Frank went to this lady's house and was like, oh, didn't I break in your house in 95? Was it 96? Or he was like, did you have red hair when somebody tried to break in your house? Because maybe I did try to have sex with you. So that was funny. Then Frank going to visit Aldo to tell Aldo that, hey, listen, I want to make amends with you. I'm sorry. He was like, make sure it's something in the near century, because he started in the 80s with him. He was like, one day we was out, we was sniffing glue at the trains, at the railroad tracks or whatever, and I shit in my pants. Well, I took your pants. And then he also said something about his dog. I was like, Frank, you ain't no good. And so Frank is going around making his apologies or whatever. And then we have, Lip. Lip is really struggling with, drinking, really struggling to stay sober. And he's trying to get back with his ex-girlfriend that works at the diner with his sister Fiona, trying to babysit her kids. He paid her light bill. He did all that good stuff for her because he wants to see if he can get back with her. But his, sobriety coach is telling him, no, it's not a good idea. You shouldn't do that, because if something goes wrong, you might relapse. And plus, she left you because you were on alcohol or whatever, you was drinking and doing drugs and stuff like that. So give it 6 months. But Lip is hard-headed, and he tries to get back with her, or he thinks that he's going to babysit her kid and pay her light bill and get back in the picture. But she needs a babysitter because she's going on a date with her baby's father, and she's going to give him a chance. And she has been giving her baby's father chances after chances. So I guess Lip feels like, why won't you give me a chance? So Lip ends up babysitting her son Lucas. Must he babysit Lucas? But you know what was weird? Lip, having Lucas right next to him sleeping, and he's watching porn. Did anybody find that weird? Did anybody think that was kind of disturbing for him to be watching porn next to Lucas? But even though, Lip is very smart, but some common sense that they lack, because they didn't have any values instilled in them as they was growing up. So he might not see nothing wrong with that, but it looks terribly wrong. So then, the waitress, she comes back home with her baby daddy, and her baby daddy looks like, Chess, what's his name? Son, Chess, what, his son is famous. I forgot the name of the guy, but Chess something. But anyways, Tom Hanks' son. So it's Chess Hanks. It looks like Chess Hanks. I'm not sure if it was Chess Hanks. If it was him or not, I'm not sure. But anyways, Lip is like, oh my God. So he realized that he cannot get back with her right now. She's going to spend the night with her baby's father, because Lip tried to stay around and say he's going to put Lucas to bed. But it didn't happen. So Lip is almost feeling like a drink, because he feels the sting, he feels the burn. So he runs to his old professor house that he used to work for as a TA. And, this professor put, Lip through through rehab and everything like that. So Lip pays him $9,000. Lip could use that money to do something else for him and his family, but he chose to give it back to his, former professor and former employer. So Lip is staying strong, but let's see how long Lip is going to be able to sustain away from drinking. And it seems like Frank has not been doing drugs, I think, or alcohol. We haven't seen any of that yet, because he smoked his last meth rock. And then wasn't it so nasty to see Frank pull out his teeth? He was like, these are the hazardous effects of doing meth. That was so disgusting. So then, we get to Deb. She's at Weldon School and she likes her teacher. Her teacher is cute, but she's probably not going to be able to get up with him, or she might get up with her teacher. So this might be a change, but Deb is still with the guy that's in the wheelchair, and basically they're together because he helped her with the DCYF and an apartment to stay at. So basically she's running around, she's leaving him in charge of of her baby that can't walk or whatever. I mean, that he can't walk or whatever, because he has a disability. So she goes to class and she goes to hang out with her classmates, and one of her classmates used to be a taxi cab driver, but Uber put him out of business. So anytime he see a Uber driver, he goes and chase him down and wild out. So basically they're just showing us how a lot of people jobs have been outsourced, and Dev is learning that lesson as well. And then the other people are talking about they used to do printing, pressing, make newspaper, printers and things like that, but there's no more need for the newspaper anymore because the internet hit. And so Deb is seeing this because she never really grew up around adults that had jobs other than Fiona working at this shitty job and that shitty job. And so, she's learning something. She's learning a lot. And then this guy wants to cut her hair. And it was like, don't let this guy cut your hair because he's going to mess it up. And so she's actually feeling empowerment. She feels like woman power and stay strong. And she really wants to make the right decisions. But, she just needs some guidance too as well, because it's trial and error with her right now. Because right now she's basically taking the responsibility for herself and her child, and she's not dependent on anybody to help her but the guy with no legs, the guy that can't walk or whatever. So, he helps her out, here and there with the babysitting and a place to stay, a stable place. And plus, he kicked out his sister for, Deb and her daughter to move in. And Deb is still like, F my baby daddy, because he ain't around. She doesn't want to be a victim. She doesn't want to complain about, having a bad parent, having a bad mom, a bad father, a bad baby father, but just want to make something out of herself. And Weldon is where she wants to go. So she spent some of her Monica money on Weldon, and she's going to learn how to be a welder. We'll see what happens with that situation. And then we get to, Fiona finally rents out the apartment, and these people are offering she was like $850. So she ended up getting $1,000 for the apartment, and Nessa and her are actually getting kind of close and talking and smoking weed. And Nessa's bitchy blonde girlfriend says, "Hey, Nessa, get up here and stop trying to put the moves on the new landlady." So I wonder if Fiona's gonna, since she's been through all these guys, she's actually gonna turn into be bisexual, or she's going to be a lesbian coming up soon, because we already know V went down that road being bisexual and being a lesbian at one point too as well. So is that going to be Fiona's new role, chasing? She's going to find love with a woman. So we'll see if they use that format this season. So I was like, okay. So Fiona's actually doing good. She actually rent that apartment for $1,000, so she's making her money back. And we'll see if Fiona still has a reign of good luck. And it seems like, Carl's having a reign of good luck with, selling meth, being responsible, cooking breakfast for the family, raising the flag, having order in his life, even though he's selling meth. And he's selling meth for his brothers and sisters. And so, Kevin is about to go outside and get a blowjob. Not a blowjob, but have this guy rub on his chest and his balls. And the guy finds out that Kevin has a lump because he's a doctor or whatever. And so Kevin goes to the doctor, find out he does have a lump. And basically they're going to do a biopsy and run some tests on him. So that's crazy. So it looks like Kevin and V are not able to catch a break. But anyways, Ice comes and visit the diner where Fiona, V, and everybody else is at working. And, Ice come and they round up the immigrants or whatever. So V gets the good idea where she can send Ice after, Spilana. And so she finds the Ice guy, the head of Ice, whatever. She finds him. She was like, yo, there's a Russian immigrants at this bar, whatever. And he was like, we don't have a problems with Russian. They're not on our high list priority. Basically just trying to say because Donald Trump and the Russian government, Putin, have a good relationship. So, we ain't looking out for them. And plus Trump is not looking for Russians. He's looking for different other minorities. So, V was like, well, they are sex trafficking and prostitution. The guy was like, okay, come on. And so we see Spilana bar get broken into. But first, V actually goes and fights Spilana. They have a fight. The two regulars that been at that bar since the show begun was like, should we break up the fight? And then the other guy was like, nah, not until we see some nakedness, not until we see some nudity. And so, and it was crazy how Spilana, she says to V that, being with you and Kev is like being with a bunch of babies. You whine, cry. You guys are so stupid. You haven't paid your taxes in 2 years. So she does got some points, but she tricked them. And she was like, you guys are too stupid to own anything. And she does have a point, but, she could have been partners with them and had her name on the thing. I don't know, but what she did to them was dirty, because they helped her when she had nothing. When Mickey was beating on her, kicked her out, having sex with Iron and all this other stuff, and she had nowhere to go, and she turns around and she does them like this, even though she came into their life and she helped out as well, but she did them in. So I guess it's just all messed up, because Kev and V was not gonna fuck over Spilana, but she fucked them over big time. Talking about her father was really the baby's father or her husband. Like, she was just such a lie, and she did them in. So they fought. But then, V right now got the last laugh, because Spilana is in jail right now, but she's probably going to get bailed out. She's probably going to get out and come back and get her bar, or she's going to have some other Russians take over the bar, or we're not going to see her that much this season. But we'll see what happens if V and Kev actually get the bar back, so Kev can stop being a whore at the club. Or maybe Spilana's going to get out, and then when she finds out that Kev is sick, she's going to help them out or whatever. So we'll see what happens with that situation. We'll see what they're going to do about Lip and his situation. If Frank is going to find out and try to manipulate that situation to get some money out of it, and, for discrimination and all this other stuff. Because one thing, Frank is smart and he knows how to get money, but he doesn't know what to do with it, and he's not a good father at all. And so Lip is looking for love. He's looking for something to help with his emotional pain, just like Frank was saying that Monica took his chakras. Monica had him stunted at the age of 21, that he never became an adult. So Frank comes into the house, he hugs Fiona, tell her how sorry he is and all this other stuff, and he's gonna go out and find a job, do adult things, and he's having a change over a new leaf, just like everybody else is having a change over a new leaf in the season so far in the first episode. And Fiona is like, what's up with him? And so Iron says, he smoked that half a bag of meth, so we don't know if it's brain damage or something serious. I was laughing. So anyways, we'll see what happens next episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples.